Hi guys, my name is Blake. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you my top 10 adult fantasy and science fiction books that I want to get to in 2021. These books are in no particular order, just a lot of these have been on my TBR for a long time. So I'll just jump right in. Sorry about the lighting. I don't have like a ring light or anything yet. I will get one soon, but all I have to work with right now is natural lighting. The first and most important book I have is Name of the Wind by Rothfuss. The reason why I haven't gotten to this yet is because the series is unfinished, and that really worries me because I don't like cliffhangers or not knowing what's happening, just in case the series never gets done or it takes a long time for the next book to come out. But I have this gorgeous 10th anniversary edition, and I've never read anything by this man. But I am pretty confident that I'm going to love it because I've heard that he has the most gorgeous writing style. And I love flowery writing styles. Love it. I also know that our narrator is kind of unlikable, or he's telling the story about his life and he kind of over embellishes and over exaggerates his greatness. So that seems like something that I would enjoy because I do like unlikable or unpredictable characters, so I think I'll enjoy that as well. Temeraire by Naomi Novik is the next book I have. The first book is His Majesty's Dragon. This is kind of an alternate history book, I believe. Yeah, this takes place during the Napoleonic Wars, except there are dragons, and they use these dragons in combat. And that sounds fantastic. Is the light going to quit doing that? I absolutely love dragons, dinosaurs, any mythical creature or extinct creature. Sign me up for it all day because I will read it. I haven't heard very many people talk about this series either, but I am really excited because I have read Naomi Novik's book Uprooted, and I absolutely loved it. She had this really gorgeous writing style, I thought, and I really love what she did with the world, so I'm definitely excited to read more by her. Up next, I have The Lies of Lamora by Lynch. I've heard people rave about this book, but the reason why I haven't picked it up is because it's in mass market paperback, and I absolutely hate these. And I think that's the same for the Temeraire book as well, why I haven't picked it up yet. But I really wanted to tab this book, and I just haven't found a nicer copy yet. But I do really want to get to this because I absolutely love fictional friendships that are really strong, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about the friendships in this series. I just got done rereading Lord of the Rings, and I absolutely love the fictional friendships there. And I hope that this book has some amazing fictional friendships as well. But the next book I have is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This takes place in, I think, Victorian era London. And we're following people with clairvoyant abilities. Don't quote me on that, though. I'm not sure if that's actually correct. But whenever I picked up this book, this tagline really caught my attention. USA Today says, invokes both the political tyranny of George Orwell and the myth-making of J.R.R. Tolkien. So that really caught my attention. I think that this is supposed to be a 7-book series, and I absolutely love big series. The more books, the better, in my opinion. This has been on every TBR that I have made for the last 2 years, I think. So it's high time that I get to it. The next book on my TBR is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This book takes place in 18th century Egypt, I believe, and we're following this con artist that accidentally lets loose a djinn, and they kind of have to team up and travel across the desert together, I believe. And I absolutely love genie, and especially books that take place in the desert or any extreme environment I love. I especially love to read books in the desert during the summertime. Especially if this pandemic ever goes away, I would love to read this on the beach, and that's kind of what I was saving it for. I heard that there's a lot of political maneuvering and a lot of court politics, and that sounds absolutely wonderful. The next book I have is The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley. I have not heard anyone mention this ever. It says that there are assassins and warrior monks in this book, which sounds phenomenal. And I don't know if you can see the cover, but there's this giant like bird-like thing on it. And I love animal companions. I don't know if it's a phoenix or maybe a different kind of bird, but that's something that I'm really excited to read about. Once again, sign me up for that all day. The next book I have is Hood by Stephen R. Lawhead. This is a Robin Hood retelling. I really want to read this in the fall because the cover looks very fall colored. I also absolutely love Robin Hood and King Arthur retellings. That's something that I could never get tired of, I think. And I don't really know what this is about, but I've never heard anyone talk about it. And I know that Stephen R. Lawhead has a lot of books out there, so I'm really excited to finally be jumping into something that he's written. The next book that I have is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. I saw Reagan from Peruse Project read this book, and she gushed about it for quite a while after she read it. And I know that it has a really interesting magic system, and we have a character that has a really quiet strength, and I really enjoy characters that are like that. The idea of a world where they have kingdoms floating off the ground sounds really cool. And I think our main character has to get involved in a political marriage. The last two books I have are science fiction books. I really enjoy science fiction when I read it, but I never really know where to start. So I've mostly been reading YA science fiction, but this year I'm really excited to finally get into some adult science fiction. And the first one I have is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I've heard some kind of mixed things about this first book in the series, but I've heard that the series gets better as it progresses. I know that in this book there is a caste system based upon what color blood you have, and it determines what job you have and where you live, etc. I heard that it's also pretty like dystopian heavy. Gonna be honest with you, I absolutely hate dystopian, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about this. I think out of all of the books on this list, I'm most nervous about reading this one, but it is pretty short, so I think I could get through it pretty easily. And the 10th and final book that I have on this list is also a science fiction book, and it is This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but I heard Jade from Bedtime Bookworm talking about this in a reading blog. I know that the main character in this book is actually a hacker, and she does something involving genetics. I know that the author herself is actually a data scientist, and this is what her field is in. I'm really excited about this one because I have a science background, and I took several genetics classes in school, and that was one of my favorite parts about Jurassic Park, so I'm hoping that there's also a strong science base in this book, because I know that the author does this for a living, and I know that it's real and it's realistic, and that's something that I really enjoyed about Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. All the science that was in there, and I'm looking forward to all the science that's going to be in here. So those are 10 of the books that I want to read in 2021. Let me know if you have read any of these, what your thoughts were, because I would love to know. And I'll see you again with another video soon. Bye!